Well, hello everybody. This is CR Game Room. I'm Chris. That's Robert. That's Ryan. How's it
What do
going?
I do with my hands?
You throw them away. Oh man. So how's it going, everybody?
It's going
I'm
good.
not complaining, so it's usually a good sign.
Yep, always complaining. That
Always,
guy.
always. All right.
No, he's not.
Let me make
going
sure
I'm not.
that. All right, there we go. All right, got everything situated perfectly for right now.
All right, we're ready
For
to
now.
go.
Give it 10 seconds.
So yeah, some things went on. We last week. I just want to say something. We forgot to correct a ruling.
Which one would that be?
Okay, I don't
Would
quite
you like
understand.
me to address it a little bit, since I'm
Yeah.
the one who stirred the pot?
Yes,
So,
go ahead and stir the pot back.
okay. So the question is in regards to characters. We'll specifically point out the Black Adam from New Justice and Team Packs there. I believe it was the Mystics one that he was in. That have a purchase energy different than the die energy printed on the card.
Yeah.
And so this, of course, happened previously back in Age of Ultron with Star-Lord. And the ruling back then was that the energy that the die produces is the energy that you should be using to purchase the die. And so at the time, the Star-Lord was the only one, and everyone kind of forgot about that one. And unfortunately, they're Injustice in these team packs, they creeped back up. Also in the Stark Industries OP kit and whatnot, there's a handful of them that just came back. So the question that I posed was, because there's so many that came up so quickly, is it, should we be treating it the same as we did with the Star-Lord, the previous precedent rule there, or should we, say that maybe they're doing a new mechanic to where the energy to purchase is different than the energy it produces? And PK and the powers that be came back with that because of the existing precedent with Star-Lord, it should be treated as errata, and that the energy that the die produces is the energy required to purchase it. And so I think that the only card in the tournament that is impacted by this is on Joe's team, and is the Black Adam.
That filthy scoundrel.
Yep. So that,
Classic Joe.
that has been addressed. So, but yeah, that's the pot that I stirred, and there's the late ruling on that one.
Yeah. So there's only one person that really had to readjust the way that they did things, and that was Kim. She fixed her team, and I mean, she still has a solid team. So
Yeah.
So everyone blame Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joe, did anything really change on your team that much, how it works, or is it pretty much whatever?
Nothing changed except a first or second turn Black Adam might be easier to come by now that I don't have to worry about stretching for a fist.
Just stretching for a fist.
Oh, too bad this isn't an After Dark episode.
You kidding me?
Robert,
it's After Dark everywhere.
Robert, you're muted.
It's probably a good thing. I didn't want to hear what I said. It was very vulgar based off of what Joe said.
I'm pretty much okay. Yeah, you're always vulgar, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. You heard it here, folks. Here, you heard it here first. It came out better while I was muted. I swear.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's what they all say.
I
That's
know.
what they all say.
All right, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Oh man.
That's the show. Wrap it up, folks.
And then, so I just wanted to make sure that we address that, and I think that's as far as we need to go into it, and that's
Let's
how.
go into it some more, though. I mean, like, seriously, like, no, I'm just playing.
If it has a different energy, it's whatever the purchase energy is. Enough said.
Yeah, I honestly, I thought it was. I didn't know about the ruling to begin with Star-Lord. I mean, I remember something weird about Star-Lord.
It's just like Age of Ultron was so long ago that, and so
and that card wasn't
forgettable.
that good anyway.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good, so nobody used it.
So we're gonna hit a little bit on probably what we did this last weekend, but next week we're gonna hit it a little bit more because we want to talk about the tournament this week. We had the one big weekend on Sunday. It was super fun. I came in the bottom 4, so you know, there's that. Nice to see I'm holding strength in the bottom. I was just trying to make sure everyone else got a better experience. Is what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
So many
that's it.
innuendos.
He's a power bottom.
And
So-
Robert, I don't remember exactly where you finished.
7th, lucky number 7.
So
Yep.
at least in the top 8.
Yep, top 8.
And then Joe and myself got into the top 4. I got 2nd place, and Joe got 3rd place. So
Nice. Good job, guys. And Joe did beat me in the head-to-head, and I did not realize I had the win condition on my team to beat him until it was way too late. It came down to one roll, though. I forget the guy's name, but I call him Chris calls him Nicolas Cage, so I started calling
Artemis
him that.
Simber.
That's the guy.
Well, it was the heist. It was me rolling the heist.
It was him pulling the heist. On that, I had 4 dice in my bag, a 50-50 shot of drawing him, and he drew him, and he took my win away from me. So that happened. Joe beat me, but it was fun. It was really cool, and it's my fault for not noticing it earlier. So
Yeah,
it happens when you're not used to playing that, especially that card, because it's one of those that
garbage
you're
can
not gonna
cards.
play. You're not gonna play that
TOA
card.
drafts are interesting because sometimes cards that you never looked at tend to come out, and you're like, "Ooh, wait, I'm going to turn this into something that good here." You know.
Yep.
Birdsong was the
Was the beatdown.
shining card of the day. You know, I'm kicking myself a little bit because I actually passed that to the guy who used it and took it to 1st place. So,
Were you in our pod?
No,
Yeah, you were.
was
You're in our pod.
Yeah, you were in his pod. Because remember, you switched at the very last minute.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was in yours and Joe's pod. That's right.
Steven, one of us needs to be another one of the other ones.
Well,
I think you just wanted to go to
Steve
the
and I
better
were
pod.
the 2 TOs. I figured split the TOs up against
Yeah.
in the 2 pods. You know.
So that bird song started off in my hand. Mine was in my opening hand.
Okay.
It was that or Green Devil Mask, Rare, Amber Golem. I had some other good stuff in my hands, and I'm just like, I gotta take my Green Devil Mask. And after that, I didn't know what I was
And then you
doing.
blacked out.
Then I blacked out. Yep, it was just like Will Ferrell in Old School. Yep.
I think in my opening hand, I took Tabaxi Rogue, and
I had it to Tabaxi Rogue too.
yeah, it was Tabaxi Rogue or Queen Crabs grab
Grab
stack,
stab.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't the good one. And I was like, if I don't see another, there's like another one out there, but I was like, I need to just wait for the other one because I'm not gonna run max 4 of Queen Crab stack or whatever the hell it is. But I knew Tabaxi Rogue was going to come in handy because I was going to ramp my brains out because I got Create Food and Water and Holy Avenger, which is kind of useless to me. But yeah, I did have it.
Yeah, we had a lot of Raz Nasi in our pod, so
I got the best one though.
Yeah, he did. That one was good.
So the draft
was
went
awesome.
pretty well for me. It went pretty badly for everybody else.
Ryan,
Right in the middle, so I was fine with that.
yeah, Ryan
No.
did a little bit more bettlier than you.
Oh, he did better because for some reason my play fell apart in the middle of our game because we were
Some
actually
reason.
yeah. I don't know what it was. Like I was on top of my game and then I come up against Ryan and I just like crap out. Seriously, the very next round after him I was playing Robbie Anderson and he had a really fast Magic Missile Yanti Attune team.
That he destroyed me, man.
I wound up outracing him. That's how good my performance was.
Wow.
Like
I just got in your head, you know.
yeah, I honestly think that's what it was because like for some reason I just like shut off. There was 2 solid turns of misplays that I was like, man, looking back at that, I was like, I should not have done that. And then of course with Ryan and my game though, it did come down to 1 roll as well.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well,
like
and
about it.
you know, I took on Robbie as well, and I was able to take out Robbie, and it was that, you know, if I didn't take him that round, he was going to get me the next round, and so I mean, I squeaked by pretty much every single one of my matches, getting all the way into the finals, and then the finals, which is on the stream. You're welcome to watch it. It's all of about 4 rounds, and it's me getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it bees that way.
I think in the only good, like my first game that I had gas the whole entire time, and I was able to keep going in the first game, and then the second game I played Steven, and that was a ridiculous. It went to time on that one, and it was like I missed a roll on the very last one because he had a much more powerful team to just swing in and just do BS things, and I just had to hold on to my life as much as I could without swinging, and it was pretty ridiculous. And then after that, it just fell apart. So,
when I played Steven in our last round, I think it was the last round. I got my Green Devil mask out, a few turns in, and every time I pulled it,
is he lagging for you guys also?
Yeah. We lost audio completely on him.
We lost everything.
Oh, here comes a hammer.
What about now? Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying that I got my Green Devil mask to roll at least 5 or 6 times against Steven, and it destroyed his field every time.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. And when I needed it, it came out, and I pulled out the win.
That's good.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
It was fun.
Well, I believe we're going to try to get Kevin, the gentleman who took first place. We're going to try to get him on one of these episodes here in the next week or two, so he can give his feedback to you guys and whatnot as well. He just started playing with Warhammer. Warhammer was the very first set he ever picked up.
Yeah.
Good for him. That's awesome. It sounded like he was a big time Magic player, so he's not.
Yeah, he's familiar with the mindset of competitive play and whatnot. Just this was his first real endeavor into competitive Dice Masters.
That's really cool to see a new person coming in and destroying all the vets. I like that.
I had no problem losing to him. If you actually watch our match, it's the last round he starts doing stuff, and I'm like, just stop. You've got me.
Yeah,
you've got it on the field. You don't need to buy anything new. You've got me.
He just want to make sure.
He was.
You gotta play it out, bro.
His team is so ridiculous. Like it's. He had a Razna.
Well, he had the super rare. Was it the super rare mimic? No, he didn't have the super rare. He just had the common mimic.
You mean doppelganger?
Or doppelganger? Sorry, common doppelganger, and those bird songs. And so he would use doppelganger to either get for his bird songs, or whatever his opponent's win con was. And then just add the bird songs to that and just crush.
Yeah, I had him down to 15 from him doing the Tabaxi Rogue Global to ramp himself further. He was like, "Cool, I'll take the damage. I don't care. I want to ramp." And it's like, I think my team is kind of pointless against this team.
Yeah, which was the crux of my team, was a Tabaxi burn team, and so I had no chance. It was a Tabaxi burn team with dragons, So, burn you to get ramp up to get the dragons, and then breath weapon you. Yeah. So
nice. Yeah, I just went with the overcrushing Allosaurus as my win condition.
Yep.
5 cost, and it worked pretty well for 2 games. The other 2 not so much.
Yep. But enough about the one big weekend. We'll discuss that more later.
We'll have one.
We have our own tournament, the 2-team takedown.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a handy dandy transition here. One moment.
Ooh.
Special effects? What?
Right.
Who approved that budget?
All right. Hold on.
What budget?
Hold on.
Oh, there it goes. So yeah, we're just sitting here in the dark now.
All right. There we go. All right. So here's the North American, as you can see.
We're all North Americans.
Don't see anything.
About the thing.
There it is. It finally came up on
I see it.
So,
yeah.
So, I only got to watch one match, and that was Joe's match where I created the ruling storm. So
the stank.
I'll stay quiet for the rest of this. But to you guys, is there any major upsets in any of these that you?
You probably watched as much as us, so
okay.
Let's get that clear.
Okay, I wasn't going to speak for anyone else, But yeah, is there any upsets you saw in this that you kind of expected to go the other way?
On here, I mean, Joe went 2-1. That's the only one that was a winner and winner versus one. Everyone else was a 2-0, but I mean, I think the first round is kind of expected. And again, the seeding has nothing to do with going forward. But yeah, I mean, it was.
I saw most of these matches because they were thankfully recorded. If you notice, a lot of the Canadian players are part of two different channels. So we were grateful for them putting all their recorded content up. So I saw Jocelyn's game up against Mike. There was a really close first game, I believe. It was the first or second game that was really close, and it was really exciting to watch. Missed goals in game 1 or 2. Bodie, remind me of what happened, because I remember it was just like one roll that botched it, and then it all went downhill from there. Like you couldn't die to save his life, literally.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't able to see Shadow's game.
Yeah, but we all kind of expected Shadow to take that one, considering the team he's playing.
From what Shadow was saying, he is fumbling around with it because he's not used to playing with Yanti.
No, he was learning it, but I think it's more the getting the rust off, the ring rust off, not learning it.
Yeah.
One that I was really surprised by, and one that I thought was going to go to 2-1, was the Reg and Rob game. I watched it, and those are both solid teams. In fact, like the whole time I was watching that, I was like, man, how are they going to counter this, or how are they going to counter that? There was a couple of missed rolls, which put Reg in the lead, and then a stronger matchup on one of his teams versus Rob's team A, I believe, and so that's what helped him kind of close it out.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go through and watch these games. I just had a lot of stuff going. I've kind of got a lot of stuff going on right now, but still, I need to watch them.
The upset was definitely Bodie and Matt Brewer, though.
Yeah, I'm just glad that Ingledew is back with a vengeance.
Oh no!
And just what's wrong?
Yeah, I was gonna say the match I'm looking forward to most next round is gonna be Joe versus Ingledew. So I definitely need to keep an eye out as to when that match gets scheduled, and I want to see that one in real time. So
please don't schedule it for Sunday because that's my wife's birthday. So.
Oh well, I can't make any promises. I gotta talk to Mike. We've only talked.
I mean they all just got announced. Was it earlier today or late last night? Late last night. So I don't expect everyone to have their stuff. But yeah. So Bodie looks like he's saying he missed. He was missing his Grodd in one game and then Thanos in the other game. So yeah, a lot of missed rolls.
He was poised to win. He was poised to take it. I tell you, his team was really solid. But I mean, that's not to take away from what Matt was doing. Matt played a really solid game.
Oh yeah,
it's just missed rolls kind of affect the game overall.
Please take that any comment we make about either upset or we thought you were upset. Someone upset someone else, or we really like this play, does not mean that the other person in that matchup we didn't. It was just
I'm really kind of looking forward to the Shadow Mel Jordo match.
That's number 2 on my list of ones I want to see.
Because I think Jordo knows his teams backwards and forwards, and I think he knows how to.
If Shadow still has ring rust on him with the Yanti team, Jordo might be able to edge out, but that's going to be about his only hit, or not his only, but one of the best case scenarios he can look for on that one.
Yeah, because Jordo just beat someone that had a Yanti team,
right?
So, not saying that he can beat any Yanti team. It's just I think he knows how to handle it. Okay.
So then the final pairing of the winners would be Matt and Reg.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh. That. Yeah.
So I'm interested out of the three quote unquote loser bracket. In round 2, it's kind of hard to call it anything else than that.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see who pulls out from that one. Who's gonna pick themselves back up, dust off, and come back with a vengeance.
I think the 1-1 bracket is going to be interesting. Whoever wins and loses this upcoming one is going to be crazy.
Yeah, this whoever wins out of that on this round 2, I think is going to be a real good contender to keep watching.
Yeah. All right, and then so let's go to the EU. All right. So this is more of they all went 2-1. So most of these people have played each other quite a bit, so it's kind of understandable. I think everyone in the NA has played each other quite a bit too. We do have some new entrants into our tournaments from the North American, but I think almost everyone in the EU has played in our tournaments. Period. So interesting.
Everybody is really familiar with each other, and as well as their online and IRL presence, because they've gone to the European Nats and the UK Nats times. So these guys are no strangers to each other as far as playing against each other.
Now the one I'm going to call it the one oddball in this, of course, we have Ben Said Scott, playing in the EU one instead of the North America, even though he now lives in Canada. We only had the 7 players, and so he A, graciously decided to shift over, and B, he is, as we just said, he's very comfortable playing against these guys. They're very familiar with it. So there is something to be said at a competitive level. If you've constantly played against a person, you kind of know what they are going to do in scenarios, and that can hopefully give you a better edge over them.
It can also get in your head too.
It can, but the hope is that you're getting in their head more than they're getting in your head. Yeah. True. So as such, Ben was able to get his win over True Mr. 6. So, and he's going to be playing against Jesco. I'm not familiar with who that is. I'm not as familiar with the EU players.
It's Peter Jezik.
Yeah, Peter.
Okay.
Oh,
really good. This is like the two titans of EU basically playing each other.
He's a former winner for one of our tournaments, isn't he?
Ben is, but not
Jezik?
Peter. No,
Oh,
he won a pod. Jezik won a pod.
Jezik came real close. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then Ben is and in our Discord, if you see a C next to someone's name, a Discord name in the team list, that means they have won a previous tournament in our tournament. So this has 2 of the 3 champions participating in this tournament, in this bracket.
EU bracket,
Yeah, EU bracket. Shadow's the only one in the NA. So, and then I think honestly the EU bracket it's pretty, like, half the people are going to make the cut. That's the weird thing.
Yeah. There's only 8 players.
Yeah, I mean, as we're doing a top 4 cut from each and then combining those into a top 8 elimination. Half of these guys are getting through. So it a lot leaner, but that does not mean the competition here is any lighter.
So basically, whoever wins this next, like, if the 2 the 2 matchups that are of the winners, if the winners of those, most likely they're getting through, depending on if they don't screw the pooch on their final 3 games, because they're only doing 3 rounds.
Right.
So there's going to be 2 people that are most likely going to have an assured move on to the next round. There's going to be a lot of the 1-on-1s are going to be ridiculous, and I think we can safely say that the 0-2s in the bracket are going to be done with the tournament, moving on in the tournament.
The winner out of the Jesco and Ben and the Jaquez and TJ, the 2 winners of those are guaranteed into the top 4. After that, it's still up in the air. It's still possible for anyone to any winner in this round, the other winners of round 2 potentially can still make it in.
So the two people that win it, the 2-0s, the winners matches, and then the people are guaranteed to make it, and the two people that lose, the losers games are guaranteed of being out. So it sucks, but it would be nice if they kept playing. I understand.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people drop, but I understand it. So.
Yeah, a 3-round bracket is a tough one because there's not a whole lot of room to fumble.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, with only 8 players, it's if you try to do a 4th round, things just get really weird. So.
Yeah. Then someone that lost 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds, has a chance of making making it to the top, which is, I don't think that should be possible, but it could. So
the EU bracket will get a break for 1 week, while the NA bracket has their final rounds.
Yeah.
So
the NA has 12 players in it, so we're gonna cut most of the people from that bracket. It's rough. It's rough out there on the streets. But I think it's gonna wind up working out fine. I'm really happy with everyone playing in it and participating in it, and the top cut. The second round is going to be very interesting because EU is going to define the tournament pretty much for them, and then in the NA, it could get bonkers the second and third week. So.
don't throw them out the window. Find a get a blowtorch and threaten them with that.
Yeah.
And then if they continue, then go ahead and melt them and turn them into art.
Yeah.
And then use that art to threaten all new dice.
Yeah. This is what happens when you don't come up right.
Yeah.
And I thought you were going for a solid Bob Ross angle, and then you just went for Velvet Buzzsaw, and that was kind of weird.
So I think that's about it on the tournament. I think it's going really well. I think everyone's enjoyed it quite well, and I don't know if there's anything bad to say about it, honestly. Everyone's pretty easy going with it and having fun with it. So, you guys have anything to say about that?
I've said all I'm gonna say on that. So that way you don't get me on another tangent.
Oh my gosh! All right, one moment. Going to transition.
I am just looking forward to my match with Mike, because his teams are pretty much the only ones. Because I've actually tested up against his.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of my teams struggles up against it and the other one doesn't. But that Green Devil mask was a last minute inclusion that I told that I was like, hey, you should add the Green Devil mask, and he was like, you know what? Maybe I should.
Dude, Green Devil mask is pretty, like your match where you just like. That was so dirty. The match that you had where you just like knocked him out because you had what was it, the Riddler out in the field and just Green Devil mask, and it's like, oh yeah, I win. That's so gross,
dude. That's such a dirty combo. I love it.
How it's supposed to go, but so that's actually my new favorite toy.
I mean, you got to just keep the pressure on them, and then to where they got to like kind of wall up like you were doing, and then eventually it's like. Uh-oh, he just bought the Green Devil mask. There's nothing I can do about it.
No, I was talking about the one with Poison Ivy Black Adam combo.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty gross combo. The one that Robert had no idea what was going on.
I was like, what just happened?
The idea of it is to get Collector early.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Black Adam out, just start every turn either fielding a Nabi or fielding Poison Ivy and KOing a Nabi.
Yeah.
And then just dealing 3 damage to 1 to 3 damage to their whole team and having them lose 1 life for each character that gets KO'd.
Well, but the Poison Ivy doesn't trigger for the Nabi being KO'd. Because he's not Legion of Doom.
Isn't it? We've established that Poison Ivy is the one that's dealing the damage.
Right, but it says that the KO'd character has to be a Legion of Doom character.
Oh,
you can knock out Poison Ivy also.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The Poison Ivy, so you know.
So it says Black Adam's text says.
No, I know the Black Adam one.
do is you field Poison Ivy, knock out one of your villains that's of a level 1 to 3, and then you deal the damage with Poison Ivy. And if any one of them gets KO'd, they lose the life.
Yeah, because Poison Ivy is doing the damage, so therefore she's a Legion of Doom, and it's doing the damage itself. That's why it works.
See, I thought it was if a Legion of Doom character is KO'd, not KOs. That's...
Oh.
Well, Ryan, you're just causing all kinds of problems.
Judge.
We don't need to discuss it now.
No, we need to discuss it now.
So, what did you have a question about between the two?
It's
you want
vengeful,
me to read out
right? It's vengeful.
text on both of them? Because I have them right here.
Yeah, well, Black Adam
Vengeful.
is active when one of your Legion of Doom character dies, KOs an opposing character die. The KO'd character dies, control loses 1 life.
Right. No, that I understood. It was the Poison Ivy one.
Okay, so when fielded, you may KO a character die you control. If you do, deal damage equal to the KO'd character die's level to target opponent and all the character dies that opponent controls.
Okay, I must have been thinking of a different Poison Ivy. I thought there was one that, if the die that she deals with is a Legion of Doom die, so that's all on me. I was mistaken. So
Yeah, because that Poison Ivy and Black Adam could lead to a cascade effect where it's like you could just win the game when they have a lot of life. Honestly,
A lot of life.
a lot of life.
Llama life.
So anything else going on, guys? It's kind of really all we had.
But the tournament, that's it.
Yeah.
Sounds like. Looking forward to week 2.
I got to finally watch Aquaman.
What did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I liked it.
continuity issues didn't disturb you?
Well, what DC has said now, each movie is separate than every other movie. Like, so there's no continuity stuff going on with other movies.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
but
kind of
they said that
continuity.
after the movie came out. So, of course, in Justice League, there's a whole scene where Aquaman goes to presumably Atlantis and
yeah.
defends Mera when they're taking the what is it, the
Mother box.
Doom box or Father
Mother
box,
box.
or Mother box?
Mother box.
Yeah, the Mother
You
box.
said
I don't
everything
remember
but what
they're
it was.
Yeah. And then in Aquaman, he meets Mera for the first time and goes to Atlantis for the first time, yet they reference events from Justice League in the movie, so we know it takes place after Justice League.
Yeah, there are definitely some inconsistencies.
Yeah.
That stuff didn't even bother me, honestly.
My brain was screaming at me for about 10 minutes when they started doing that. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
As far as like continuity goes, I honestly think that Justice League is the movie that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You kind of have to think of it that way.
But they can't reference it. That is something you're right about. They shouldn't reference it in the movie when they're saying, no, that doesn't exist in Aquaman's universe.
It's just like regular comic books, man.
I know.
Stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked
the
Aquaman,
New
though.
52 and Rebirth.
Yeah. I don't even know what's going on with that stuff. But I liked Ocean Master in the Aquaman movie. I thought he was very like comic book accurate. I thought he looked great.
Yeah. He did say that he defeated Steppenwolf too.
Who did?
Aquaman.
Did he? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Maybe
So,
it takes
Like I
place
said, they
somewhere in
referenced
Gap
the
in there?
events that happened in Justice League, so...
They did. I mean, he was popular because of the things that he did in Justice League.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think as a standalone movie, I liked it, and
It was a fantastic movie. They tried to capitalize on the whole Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, buddy cop type, comedy, that's been introduced into the comic book movies recently, and I think they did a great job with that.
I think they actually shotgunned the entire,
Mhm.
like genre. They were just like, all right, so first it's going to be this movie, and then it's going to be this movie.
I don't know. I liked it better than Thor Ragnarok. Unpopular opinion, because I don't really care for Thor Ragnarok that much. But yeah, I liked it overall. It was good. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Good enough to where I bought it. So.
And that's how I watched it.
Yeah, you did. You certainly did.
Now I just watched Into the Spider-Verse.
Such a good movie.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It was one of those. Me and my son were about, we were looking to see what movie we wanted to go see, and I saw it was still in the movie theater, and I was like, okay, maybe we'll go see that. And then about 5 minutes later, flipping through, and I noticed it was for purchase on Amazon Prime. I'm like, no, I'll just buy it on Amazon Prime and we'll watch it at home.
Yeah, I can pause it. That's the big selling point.
I can watch it again and again and again for less money than it would take for the two of us to go to the movie theater. And as you said, I can pause it. I can get whatever I want to eat.
I love Spider-Verse. It's so good.
I think it's probably one of the best Marvel movies out. Period.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Even though it's
just
not MCU. It's just Marvel.
period.
Sony.
Yeah, any comic book Marvel character movie.
Yeah.
That is one of the best ones.
I'll definitely say that it's better than any of the Spider-Man.
I'm saying Marvel. Period. I'm not.
Winter Soldier, bro.
No, not for me.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own personal favorite, and for each person, they're all correct. So
yeah, totally. Just like, I don't know. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I thought that one was done really well. The music was great.
There's someone out there that probably thinks the original Fantastic Four is the best Marvel movie that's ever came out. And I'm not talking the one with Jessica Biel. I'm talking the ones in the 80s, know.
Oh, wow. And they think Punisher from the 80s was the best one. Or Punisher.
Hey, now. Dolph Lundgren is the Punisher and always will be the Punisher.
Dolph Lundgren was really good in Aquaman, by the way.
Oh, yeah. He was fantastic.
Ryan, have you seen the Netflix Punisher, though?
Of course I've seen it.
That one's so good, too.
I'm not saying it wasn't good. It's just, I'm sorry, he's not the Punisher. I was raised on Dolph Lundgren being the Punisher.
I remember him being the Punisher. I never saw that Punisher movie, so I can.
It was for about 2 months. It was probably on constant replay at my house. So
wow,
it was really good.
Yeah,
it was fantastically horrible good.
I don't know. I think it stands alone as a decent, for that era, comic book interpretation.
Mm-hmm. It was more faithful to the comic books than any other movie of that time frame.
Yeah, and the Punisher from the 2000s.
Thomas Jane.
Talking about Thomas Jane?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I will say there was a. You can find it on YouTube. It was a web short that a guy did using him that continued the storyline, and it is absolutely fantastic.
I didn't hate that Thomas Jane Punisher.
I didn't hate it, but it was
Trickster Punisher. It was Trickster Punisher. That's all it was.
Yeah, it I don't know. It wasn't enough.
He tricked people. He I don't know. The Punisher in the 80s was him just murdering people like straight up. I like that Punisher, and then like the one in the 2000s was just like, oh, I'm gonna be tricky and have you wish that you were dead, and then probably just gonna kill you too. I don't know.
So my dad is a big comic book guy, right? He's been collecting comic books since the 60s, right? And he said he liked the second Punisher movie. What is it, Warzone or War Games? I don't know what the second one was called.
A lot of people did, actually. A lot of people liked them better.
He said that he liked that one better than the first one with Thomas Jane. And I never saw the second one.
Well, like I said, I'll find the link for the little web short that came out afterwards. That gave me more respect for him as a Punisher than either of the movies.
I think they said that the studio got too involved in the movie and was just trying to make it something other than what he.
I mean, they sure. Punisher's known for being a little over the top, and they did. They knew comic book movies were meant for younger audiences, and they didn't want to go too far.
Yeah, because I think it was PG-13, and Punisher should not be PG-13.
No. Punisher needs to be a rated R movie. I mean,
Warzone was R, and the Thomas Jane one was PG-13.
Yeah.
Dang. Did anyone see the Motley Crue movie on Netflix?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm probably going to watch it this weekend. So
I'm hearing good things about it.
I need to finish the show that just came out, the anime that we're watching. The new episode came out today.
Oh, Rising of the Shield Hero?
Yes. Such a good anime.
I saw the movie Us this weekend. The Jordan Peele movie.
I really want to see that. I also want to see his first one. Oh,
Get Out.
yeah,
Get
I want
Out.
to see that.
Us was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't get all the hype that everyone was saying. Like he's redefining the horror genre and all this and that. I didn't get it. For me, there's a big twist at the end that I saw coming like a mile away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was just like,
It's a
it was
different.
good though.
It's a different spin.
Yeah.
Is on the horror genre. It makes you think instead of like you turning off your brain and watching gore or whatever, torture porn. You're just like, oh, I actually have to follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah. I think it's getting more back to suspense like it was in the 60s. Where
it was kind of suspenseful. Definitely.
Yeah. I think that's
I much prefer suspense movies than horror movies.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm in the mood for a slasher movie to really just like turn off my brain and just watch teenagers get annihilated, yeah, I'm down for that. But I want to watch something like the old Twilight Zones, and I'm so glad that he's actually producing and doing all that stuff with the new ones, and we're keeping CBS All Access just for that. So
nice.
And
gotta watch more Japanese horror films because those are the ones that give you this like dread, and the way they set it up. They don't use jump scares, or some of them use a lot of blood and gore, but other ones just use like straight up mind, tricks of the mind and stuff like that.
Mind
and
fuckery?
It's just, yeah. Want to go that far, but yeah, Japanese horror films are really good with that.
Yeah, I think I think the horror genre is starting to get an uptick for what it should be, especially with the Twilight Zone coming back out, and I think they need to have better writers working on them than just studios just putting in someone that just doesn't care and they're just there for the money, because I think suspense thrillers can be really good, and it's a good thing to just watch and try to help the character figure it out yourself.
Yeah, see, I was always more of a fan of Outer Limits than I was of the reboot of Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
The original black-white Twilight Zone were fantastic. Those were great, but when they rebooted it, what was it, in the 90s?
90s. It was in the 90s, early 90s.
It just lost itself.
Yeah.
The Outer Limits was mid to late 90s. It had a pretty good run, and Twilight Zone, the rebooted Twilight Zone, only lasted about 2.5 seasons, and they cut it. And then right after that, Outer Limits picked up and sort of took over.
They're gonna redo the Gremlin on the Plane episode.
Well, yeah, I mean they have to.
Yeah,
that's the iconic Twilight Zone.
Adam Scott is going to be the guy.
William Shatner better at least have a little cameo in that episode.
I would love for him to be on that, but he's also kind of just doing his own thing, and he doesn't really care about what he has to do.
I think he may sit down for that one because that helped launch him. That was one of his first major roles.
He was so good in that
role for him.
And
I think John Lithgow did really good on the rebooted version.
Oh, John Lithgow was my favorite on that one. Oh, that was fantastic.
He was also my favorite one on the Dexter series as the big bad.
Yeah.
Trinity, so good. That was the last good season of Dexter.
It was the last season I watched. My wife watched the others and told me not to.
You didn't miss anything.
You did not. I want to go through that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm watching. Was it the Expanse right now on Amazon Prime?
And that was pretty good.
It's interesting. I'm in the beginning of season 2 on it right now, and it's
so
a hardcore sci-fi. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sci-Fi Channel originally had it for the first half season, and then they decided to drop it, and then Amazon picked it up for the latter half of the season, and then it was so good that they decided to re-up for seasons 2 and 3.
Yep.
I kind of understand why Sci-Fi Channel did that, because they couldn't afford. Like they just got done with the production of what's the one that's so good. They know how much it takes to actually make a good sci-fi show.
Yeah, and it's so special effects heavy that
they couldn't
the
afford
budget on it, it was one of those, they dropped it so that someone else could do it justice.
Yeah, they released the contract. They have exclusivity on a lot of their contracts, and they just like no. as long as we get to
farm it
reach
out, find
yeah.
someone else. You
Yeah.
know,
So, which is nice. Not a lot of companies do that. So,
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. As far as TV shows, I think there's been some good ones that start out really good, but then they just like kind of fall off. That's the crappy thing.
it's Stargate or not Stargate, Star Trek Discovery. I'm still watching that one.
I still really like it.
Bringing back to comic books from since Dice Masters is mostly that Doom Patrol. That has been interesting.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah, I think.
So it's part of the DC universe or DC,
Yeah.
the DC
DC
channel
universe.
stuff.
Saw the
and
first episode.
Yeah, the problem I have with the DC universe or DC, not the DC, DC Online is they do one episode a week, and so you're sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. And they of course when they launched the channel, they started off with the live action Teen Titans, and at one point in that they introduced the Doom Patrol in that, and apparently it went over like gangbusters that they decided to spin it off into its own show. And so they've been spinning them off into their own show, and it has been fantastic. I've been really enjoying it. Brendan Fraser voices
What man?
what was his name?
What man?
Yeah, I don't remember his name now to save my life.
Your
but, yeah.
voice keeps getting cut out whenever you say something, Joe. That's why
Robot. Man.
Yeah, Robot Man.
Robot
yeah.
Man.
Okay.
And then I can't remember his name to save my life now. He was the pilot from Firefly.
Oh.
He's the big bad guy.
Oh.
And the entire thing is, parts of it are all narrated by him, and his snark is hysterical.
I mean, he's snarky and everything, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, but his snark as a bad guy, it's like I've never really ever seen him as a bad guy, and it's interesting how he's been pulling it off.
Yeah, it's just it's just another I already have a lot of online services because we don't.
Oh no, I
Tudyk.
agree.
That's his name.
There's Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk. Thank you.
He's an amazing actor, but yeah, him as Mr.
Mr. Bad Guy.
Weird.
Mr. Bad
He
Guy.
has a name, and it's just dumb 50s callback, and it's great.
It's like Mr. Nobody, I think is.
It's Mr. Nobody.
Yeah. I mean, because.
And he breaks the fourth wall so often.
Oh yeah.
Is
the
it done well?
Oh, very well.
Alan Tudyk, of course, it's done well.
I mean, you never know. The writers might have done it weird, or the director might have done it weird.
You could give him a bad line, and he spins that thing into gold.
I understand why they do it episodic, like weekly, because people would just like get it for one month and just drop it.
Yeah.
But they could just wait till the season is over and just do the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. But some people don't like waiting. Even though they are waiting, they still want to see the newest. They want to see that new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was considering getting it, but I don't know. I think it's like $9.
Yeah, it's on the more expensive side as far as the online services, and there's not enough content right now. I wouldn't. If you're not a diehard, oh my god, I've got to watch this right now. Don't get it. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait until there's 2 or 3 different shows where the full seasons are released. Get it for a month or 2, binge them, drop it, and wait a little bit.
I do have a question. Is it only online, or can you go, like, if you're in a different country, like, say, in the UK, do you get it to watch it on Netflix or whatever? Do they have a contract like that, or is it just only DC?
As far as I know, it's only available through them. Now, one of the nice things about it is they do include a lot of their comic books in it, so you can go and read the comic books as well and whatnot. But up until recently, it's always just like the first issue of the comic book.
Yeah.
And so just recently, DC, released their library digitally, and so a lot of it's finally included in there.
What's up, Grookey Gang?
Well, that's cool. That's interesting. So if you get the DC Universe streaming services, you also get access to the DC library?
Basically anything that's on the Comixology Unlimited that would be DC is included in that.
Yeah, because I know Marvel has their own which is called Marvel Unlimited, I think.
And
Yeah,
then,
a lot of the animated movies are on there. You know, they every week in between shows. So there's the weekly show, and then when the show ends, they'll give a couple of weeks in between before the next one goes. They'll release random things. So they redid the Batman the Animated Series in high def.
In high def, that's right.
So they released that. They just released a couple weeks ago the Shazam, the original late 70s, early 80s live action show. You know, they just redid that, released that one. My favorite was that they brought back and redid Young Justice. Yeah, they did season 3 for that one.
Oh, they did season 3's out already?
Just
half.
the first part.
Just the first half.
Doing it to keep everybody subscribing.
Yeah.
I might have just subscribed if you didn't tell me it was half. It was. I would have signed up tomorrow. I already have the app downloaded.
But you can still. What?
If I could turn into any object for a week or longer, if you want, what would you be? You couldn't move or speak, but you can see, hear, think. Man, it's a good question. What would I be? I would just be the wall.
Do you get to choose where where you're as an object you are?
Yeah. Because I don't want to be
is
in a
it just like where I'm at right now, I poof, change into it, and I'm here? Or can I pick an object at a specific location to become?
I would turn into a wall, the Oval Office wall in the White House.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's all.
it.
Red Lantern Green.
Nice. Man. I don't know.
Object for a week or longer. I'm not that much into politics, you know.
I would also choose like a thing on the
so you
space
can't
station.
become an already existing object. So you
No.
couldn't become a existing wall. You could become a random wall that just appears in the Oval Office, but I'm not sure that would get you the same result you were hoping for.
I would probably turn into a plant.
A
Yeah. nice
plant
little
in the
plant.
Oval
Nice
Office?
Yeah, nice little cacti. I don't know.
I would want to turn into some kind of experiment that NASA sends up to space. That would be kind of cool.
Yep.
Along those lines, I'd say I just want to be a new star. Just, you know, new star, pop up in space, you know, enjoy that for a little bit.
You go supernova right away.
Yeah. No, that's what I do right as I'm leaving.
And I'm done.
You're already a star to us, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
All right, so Grookey, we've given you a couple of answers. What would you choose?
A rock? Oh yeah, plant is kind of living. I'll be a fake plant. How about that? Bam.
Around it.
Nailed it.
Man.
Fake plant. Yeah, streaming services are getting ridiculous. There's just so many of them.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, so we cut the cable 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't had, you know, actual cable TV in, you know, a long time. But yeah, the streaming services, you know, I've got, you know, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, CBS All Access, you know, YouTube Premiere, you know, DC Online. You know, it's like, okay, I'm almost spending as much now on all of these individual services versus what I was spending just for cable TV.
Do you have YouTube TV?
Yeah, that's the YouTube Premiere.
Okay, I have that, and Robert has that also. And I have.
To be perfectly honest, I got it to watch Cobra Kai.
Yes.
I've got 2 episodes left on it, and it's been like 6 months, and I haven't finished it.
It's so good.
I know. I need to watch it. It's just I keep getting other things that I would like to do in front of it, and that's the only reason. And then they made the announcement that future seasons of all of the shows they're going to release on normal YouTube just with ads.
I don't know. I don't have traditional cable TV. YouTube TV is my cable thing. And I have gigabit internet, so I just got internet cable, and I use it to watch all the sports that I watch and everything like that. So that's really what I got it for. And then I also have Hulu TV, CBS All Access, of course.
Big Bang Theory is the reason I had to get that one.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that show.
If you put
I
it
just
to
gotta watch
record Big Bang Theory on YouTube TV, it records every single episode, and you have it in your library.
Say that again. You cut out through.
If you tell it to record on YouTube TV, Big Bang Theory, it records all new and all old episodes.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, me and my wife will sit down and about once a year we'll binge Big Bang Theory and How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's about to come to an end. I mean, we got CBS All Access. We got it because we watched Big Brother, and me and the wife like to watch that and just.
Yeah. No, I got
Yeah.
I got CBS All Access for Big Bang Theory so we could watch the new stuff when we cut the cord.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Star Trek Discovery got announced, we were just like, okay, I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
My wife and I are both Trekkies. So.
Yeah, we got it for the Big Brother. Then the Discovery season came back, and I think we're gonna keep it for the Twilight Zone because I want to see what that's like, honestly. So I'm kind of excited about that. I was going antenna TV hooked up to my computer and recording shows that way.
That seems like a lot of work.
It's not.
No, I did that for a while years ago, but yeah.
Yeah. The cable card broke.
It's not for me. I'll just forget about the shows and go on living my life.
I would transform for a week, man. I wouldn't want to do anything longer than that, no matter what I transformed into. As much as I think my life is not the greatest, I still like being me. So,
yeah.
If I would say if the minimum is a week, then I would do the minimum. I would probably say if I could any amount of time, I'd probably pick 3 days. After that, I'd be missing my wife and kids. So.
Oh, look at you! That's so sweet.
he's gonna go and share this exact clip to his wife. Why is it 3 days? Why isn't it right away?
I don't know.
Well, because there is a buffer. It's one of those I've got to be away long enough to then remember that I actually missed them, and then let the the longing grow.
But if you're not a living object, you wouldn't remember it.
No, that's why I'm picking it now before I change.
No, but you can still think and do all that stuff.
Okay, no, you don't have a brain. You're like
I'm just saying that's what the rules say.
If I had to pick something that was on the planet Earth, like I couldn't be something out in space or whatnot, I would say I would be a new gargoyle on Notre Dame.
There you go.
Are there new ones there?
No, there's not new ones, but I can't be an existing thing.
Oh man. All
That's
right.
funny. Cool. So next week we are going to be talking about the One Big Weekend some more. Maybe talk about some spoilers that we didn't get to today.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna try to have the winner.
D&D.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know anything about any of that stuff that they announced. So that's going to be an interesting conversation next week.
we'll be going over that. So
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll send you some background information that you can review between now and then.
he has
And
so
then
many
not
links
do it.
for everything. He should be able to see.
Well,
it.
that's what I'm saying, and not do it, and then just look like a fool next week. So
I can't mess up. I got to be consistent. You know what I mean? So I can't just all willy nilly do some research.
You're the worst.
Yeah.
You're literally the worst. So,
Who would I be at that point?
all right, so
Cool.
I think that's gonna do it for us. Honestly.
Think we're good?
Yeah.
All right. If you think we're good, we can wrap things up here in the CR game room.
Joe, you got anything to add, or are you still here? Or... I guess Joe's not here. All right, Robert, go ahead and close it out.
All right, cool. Thanks everybody for hanging out. That's gonna do it for us here in the Sierra Game Room again. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and join our conversations on Discord. And as always, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.